Hello and welcome. I am Lola Tycoon, and with me tonight is Tutu Akinkuowo, also known as Minister TuTu. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you. So, for those who, I usually like for people to introduce themselves when they come on my show. Can you just tell those who are watching a little bit about yourself and what you're all about, and
Well, first and foremost, I am a husband and father, and praise and worship leader and recording artist. You can see me singing. I love to sing.
Wow.
That is one of the things that gets me going. Yeah, it's a big part of my life, leading people into the presence of God and also helping aspiring worship leaders in the pursuit of the same thing.
Oh, great, great, great. So we're going to get into all of that. But where are you? We're going to get into, how you get to, inspiring people, encouraging people. But where I read your bio, and it said that you were born in Washington, D.C. But what is your background like? Your childhood? Where did you grow up? And, where you're from originally?
Yeah, so I was born in Washington, D.C.,
Okay.
but I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay.
I was raised there. My parents are from Ondo Town, best place in the world.
For sure, for sure. My parents are also from Ondo, so yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we grew up in Lagos, in Mushin, Lagos. Some people don't believe that when I tell them. I don't know what's the big deal about that. It's a great place.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up, and I was in Nigeria until I was 18, and then I came back to the U.S. when I was 18 years old.
Okay. So your formative years were basically in Nigeria. You grew up in Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I read your like I said, I read your bio, and you said you've been singing since you were 12 years old. So, or from a child, a young age.
Yeah, from a young age. I've always been musically inclined. From the time I was little. It wasn't anything serious. I just thought that's what everybody does. Everybody sings. But when I look back at it now, I noticed that there were things that I was able to do that when I look back at it, I was like, you know what, maybe I was onto something there that I didn't realize. I could pick out a song, I could pick out the different instruments in a song from a very young age. I could harmonize songs without anybody actually teaching me how to do it.
Oh, wow.
So, but like I said, I didn't think of it as anything serious back then. So.
Okay. So, when did you start taking that seriously?
So in growing up in Nigeria, like I said, loving music and I was always part of the band that played in the assemblies when we were in primary school. And throughout high school, I led worship in the fellowship, but it didn't really become serious for me until I came back to the U.S.
Okay.
So there was a particular event that really sparked or that really lit a fire in me. Like,
oh, wow.
I was at an event. A lot of people there, people from different nationalities, and so I took the microphone and I just sang casually. And as I began to sing, the whole place went silent.
Oh, wow.
And everybody just turned around like, who is that? So, and for someone I've been singing for a while, people say that all the time, like, oh, that was good, but there was something different about that day. Like,
wow.
it wasn't a religious gathering. It was just a gathering, like a get-together party.
Okay.
So after that day, I just thought, wow, maybe there is something to this, and I can't explain it. There was a fire that just
ignited
in me, like,
wow.
You know what, I can do this.
Okay.
And it's been on since then.
And how long ago was that?
That was about 20 years ago.
Oh now. Wow. Okay. And was that what also, because you said it wasn't a religious event, but right. Would you also say that was, what was your faith like? What was your level of...
Yeah, I was a Christian. Okay. Being a Christian, I grew up in it's kind of a different dynamic. My mom came from a Muslim background. Mm-hmm. My dad came from a Christian background, but the early years there, we didn't do much. We weren't so religious. We didn't attend church or even a mosque. But in me, there was always that yearning for. I've always wondered what makes everything work. Like, I'm always the guy who wants to know how things work. What is the meaning of this life? Why are we here? I've always been a guy who searching for that. Okay. And in my teenage years is when I really gave my life to Christ, and I began to attend church. And friends of mine, we started having conversations about God, and so that's how my Christian journey started.
Okay, fantastic. So, from that point on, did you start singing in church? Excuse me. Or how did what now gave you, because you said you're a person who you love to search for meaning. You want a deeper meaning. Right. You want to look into a deeper meaning about a situation or something. But so what actually made you now go the Christian route? Because you said when that inspiration came, when that overwhelming power for you to just take the mic and sing, you were not at a religious gathering, but here you are now a gospel artist. Mm-hmm. So what made you now go that route?
Well, one of the things that in primary school, I went to a school that founder was a pastor.
Oh, I see.
So he, even though it was a school, and he would always have us read the Bible, and he would be sharing the word with us during the morning assembly. So I started to read the Bible myself. So that has always been my motto. Like, sure, it's okay to have somebody preach to you, but sometimes you still have to read the Bible for yourself.
Absolutely. And
know God for yourself. I think that's important.
For sure. So now let's fast forward to now you're a dad, you're a husband, you're a dad. What do you do? What do you do now for a living? Who is Minister TuTu?
Minister TuTu is a very interesting person.
How so? Elaborate on that.
It's very funny because people see me sing, and they sometimes think maybe that's all he does. I'm like, okay, there's more to me than.
So what do you
singing.
do?
I love sports. I'm a big, I coach my son's team.
Oh wow! Okay.
I'm also a management consultant.
Okay.
So there's a lot to me. But music is a very big part of me.
Okay.
That you can't take away. Yeah.
It's just in there.
It's just in your there.
Core.
It's in there.
Okay. Fantastic. And it's good to know. So, but what was the defining moment to you in your spiritual journey? What was the defining moment? Or did you have any?
Well, defining moment for me came in my teenage years, when I started to search, I began to read the Bible first. I began to understand what this life is about. I began to understand Christ, understand the mystery of his birth and coming to die for our sins. And that was, I think I was about 15.
Oh, wow. At that young age.
At that young age when I began to search for that. And I realized that Jesus Christ is my life.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So that young, that young age.
Oh, wow.
About 15 years old.
Wow, that is amazing. Amazing. So from that point on, you've had a relationship with God. I mean, with God, Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
I have. I mean, as a teenager, I had my teenage years also.
Of course.
I think.
But now, but that was when it all began for you.
Yes, that was when it all started for me.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, wow. That's a blessing. A lot of people, some people that I know, they didn't have an encounter with God until they were like in their 40s. Or,
right.
So for God to have been in the picture for you at that very young age must be something very, very profound. And he definitely has something in store for you. That's why he met you at that young age.
I believe that.
So now I know how many recording records do you have, or music have you produced, or are you a producer? What do you do in that music industry?
Well, for music, I mentioned starting early. The first thing I did was I played the drums. I was a drummer first before I started to sing. Again, playing the drums, I just kind of realized, what, I think I can sing too. So
okay.
So I began to sing too. I was always in the choir in high school the entire time. I was in the school choir. I was asked to be the praise and worship leader for the Christian fellowship.
When you say school,
in high school.
In high school? Okay.
In primary school, elementary school, I played the drums there. I never sang there.
Okay.
So I just played the drums. So in high school is when I really began to sing. Had a little time where I loved to rap too.
Let's talk about that. So can you give us one? Just give us your best, or something right now. Just rap something for us. An impromptu rap. Let's see how, if you still have it.
If I still got it. Oh my God. Okay, I can say, Jesus is the King, my Lord, my King. He's given me everything that I know. Lord is always good. He's always kind to me. Give him all the praise. You'll be all right.
Oh, wow. Okay. Then there's a rhyme to it as well. Fantastic. Wow. Okay, maybe when you come to our church, sometimes we'll ask you to rap or something.
Yeah, I mean, the story there's a few of my friends that knew me early on, maybe in high school, got surprised when they saw me singing because they saw me as a rapper.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting. So now, I mean, things evolve. So you're also a performing artist as well.
Yes.
So how did that come about for you? I know you've recorded, you have a couple of music out, and you're also a performing artist. So how did you which one came first?
So when I started to take music very seriously, I got into the church. I was very involved with the choir. I helped the choir, and I was the praise and worship leader. At one point, I became the praise team leader. And the whole time, I always knew I would record at some point, but I didn't do anything about it. It's like, sometimes in life we wait. It's like it's like I was waiting to be discovered or something. Like I'm just waiting there. Like somebody's gonna come in and say, I'm gonna take you and I'm gonna sign you up. And it's almost like subconsciously I was waiting for that.
And you know what? that is a very, very important issue that you brought up. A lot of people out there are waiting to be discovered. But let me ask this question. Do you think did anyone come? Or you went out and created your own platform? So please talk to our viewers, and for those who are in that situation right now, how was that experience for you? Just address the
So what ended up happening was, like, I was doing that, and people would often come to me and say, yeah, you sound good, this, but that was to the extent of it. The closest I ever got to somebody actually saying, oh, we want to sign you up, was actually a secular company. Somebody approached me one time and said, I would like to sign you. But they did not want me to sing a gospel or do a gospel song. They wanted me to sing more R&B, and I was like, no, that's really, not that I completely dislike all R&B, but I didn't think that was me, and so I was like, no, that's really not what I want to be doing. So I just kept at it and was waiting again. And there was a particular event that happened. Like, I'm this kind of guy. Things happen that just trigger something in me.
Absolutely.
So, some years back, I thought about recording myself, but I was discouraged because of what people were saying to me. So people would tell me, you're good, but you can't really record it because it's going to cost a lot of money. And so I took that and I stopped.
Wow.
Because I felt, yeah, maybe they're right. But then some years back, because I love sports, right? So, and with me, the way God speaks to me is, I believe it's kind of a weird way, I could just be watching.
That's why he's God.
I could just be watching. Yeah, I could just be watching a movie.
Oh, wow.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be a religious film. It could be anything. And I just, like a fire just gets stoked in me. So I was watching a sports interview. I love watching soccer. I love watching the NFL. So they were interviewing a coach. And the coach was, was a legendary coach. He's coached a team to a few Super Bowls and retired. And for about 10 or so years, he was away. And then he came back to coach the team. So they were asking him a question like, so why would you come back to coach the team, despite all the success that you've had in the past? So his answer was, because I don't want the situation where 20 years from now, I look back and I say, I could have done this.
But I didn't.
Wow.
Wow.
And the moment I heard that, that just sparked me like, you know what?
You're going for it.
I'm going to go do this.
Wow.
Because I don't want a situation where I'm 60 or 70 and I look back and I said, I could have recorded back then too. And I didn't.
Wow. Wow. So nobody came.
So yeah.
You, like David, encouraged yourself. And you got up and said, I'm going to do this. Yeah.
So when that happened, I just went into work. I put the songs I wanted to record together.
Wow.
I had everything. I didn't tell anybody. Because this time around, I didn't want anybody to discourage me.
No naysayers.
So unless you were directly involved in it, I didn't tell anyone.
Wow.
I just went in, I actually didn't tell people that I was going to record, that I was about to release a CD until the album was pretty much done. It was in the last phases,
So ain't nothing anybody could do at that point.
So at that point was when I started to tell people, okay, this is coming up. Yeah, I didn't even know what to call myself at the time. I was just recording. I don't think I came up with a name until about maybe a month before. That's when I said, okay, we'll go with Minister TuTu.
Minister TuTu. So how did that name come about for you, though? What inspired that?
So I am an ordained minister in church, but that name came about because prior to recording, which is another thing, I would get invited to sing and minister in songs at various events, concerts. So I began to sing, which is another thing, one of the things that also inspired me. I would sing songs and people would say, so where did you get that song from? Have you recorded it? And I would have to tell them, actually, that's not my song. So there were songs that people thought were mine, but weren't.
When you say it's not your song, you meant someone else?
Yeah, it was a song that had been recorded already.
Okay, it's just not popular. Okay.
Some of them were, but one famous song that I would sing a lot then was a song by Baron Cage called "Thou, O Lord, Art a Shield for Me." So I sang that song so much, people thought that it was my song.
If you were that good.
But anyway, so when I go to different places, they called me different names. Like I would go to a place, some people would say Pastor TuTu, some would say Bishop TuTu.
Oh wow.
Some would say
Elder TuTu.
Yeah, I was getting called a lot. The teenagers in my church would call me Uncle TuTu.
Okay.
So there were so many
ways
people introduced me, and at this time, as I was recording, I'm like, do I just put TuTu on the CD? So a friend of mine, fellow musician, you might know him, his name is Philip George. He had an event which he invited me to sing in, and he introduced me as Minister TuTu. And for some reason, I loved it.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? That's kind of
cool.
That kind of puts everything together. You know, you can call me pastor, bishop, deacon, whatever. They're all ministers.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. So I just said, okay, we'll go with Minister TuTu.
Fantastic. So for those who are looking, for those who are out there, so obviously nobody's coming. Right. They have to, based on what you've said, based on how you started, nobody's coming to, people might come, but you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, which was what you did. So for those who are, watching and they're looking to maybe be an artist, a performing artist, right, or a recording artist, what would you tell them? And they don't have that courage yet to, go out there and just be who they're destined to be.
Right.
How would you encourage them?
Yeah, and I think one of the things is you have to understand, what exactly do you want to do? What is your motive? One example I like to give to people is, you can't be a doctor or go to med school and become a doctor just because you heard that doctors make a lot of money. That can't be the only reason why you want to be a doctor. It's got to be something that you love, that you believe this is something that you have a passion for. So looking at it from the viewpoint of, I can make money with this. Not that nothing wrong with making money. I love to make money. I'm sure
you're a consultant.
I love to make money, but you gotta have a passion for what you're doing. And when you do, it takes care of everything, and you have to be ready. I was talking about a sports coach all the time, and one of the things I also learned from that was, you have to be ready for that right time moment. You're called impromptu. Hey, you're on. You have to be ready.
You have to be prepared.
You have to be prepared.
To go.
When opportunity comes, it has to meet you in a place where you're prepared.
Because it does come.
Because it does come. And if you're not prepared, then the opportunity can go away. And you might get another one, but then you have to be prepared too.
Okay. So, and if you're not passionate about it, you might not, so maybe that's where...
Yes, the passion is a big key. You have to be passionate about anything. I mean, it's not just music. In anything, you want to do anything, the passion in you is going to help you a lot, because it will help you go through stages where you feel like, this isn't working. I don't think this is going to work. That passion will keep you going.
Wow. So in a nutshell, you have to be ready. You have to be prepared. You have to go into it for the right reason.
Yes.
Reasons.
Reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to be prepared, right? Prepared.
Always prepared. Those that work with me in the choir, they know I tell them you have to always be prepared. I tell them, you want to sing a song, even let's say choir was singing a song now, and you're not the designated lead singer. Those that are around me, I would tell them, you still have to be prepared to do it anyway, just in case the lead singer is not there.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So you're a recording artist.
Yes.
You're a performing artist. You're a management consultant, but I believe you work for somebody as far as that is concerned. It's not like you have your own private business.
No, not.
Okay, but the music part of it, you have your, it's your gig, so to speak. So how can people find you? How can, your music, or are you on, social media? And I know you're on social media. I know you're on Instagram for sure. Yeah, because I follow you. So where can people find you? Find your product, find your music?
So you can find me, I'm on social media, Instagram, at Instagram at official Minister TuTu.
Okay.
On Facebook at Minister TuTu, and on Twitter at Minister TuTu. Okay. So you can always find me on social media. Okay. As far as my music is everywhere you can find music. Okay. On iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, any online outlet where you could find music. If you just put in Minister TuTu, you will find my music there. Okay, and do people book you? Do you go out to perform, or you just do it strictly in your church, at your church? No, I do events. I do events. Okay. I do events, concerts, revival service. I work with choirs sometimes. I consult with other choirs. Work with the choir on vocal training and things like that. Oh, okay. So people can actually call you to... So yes, you can actually call me and invite me to events like concerts, services, conferences, things like that. Yeah. And that information, your contact information, will be on your Instagram, or how does that happen for you? Yes, it is on my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter handles. Okay. Yeah. So, what would be your final word today? What would you say to encourage anyone? I mean, people who are out there just going through a situation, one situation or the other. What would you say to them right now? Never give up. As long as you are still breathing, there is always hope. And then another thing is, I say this a lot to, I'm not very old, but people who are younger than I am, I say, there's nothing that you cannot do. Put your heart into everything that you do. Do things for the right reasons, and the sky is your limit. It's not even your limit. you can get anywhere you want to go.
Wow, thank you for that. And also, one last question before I let you go. I've had an opportunity to meet your family when you came to minister at an event that I was at. So, how did you meet your wife? Because you told me earlier that she when before the interview began, we were chatting and stuff, and he was like, "I'm not into fashion. My wife helps me pick out my clothes." So I'm like, wow, that's really, really, amazing. That's wonderful. That's what wives do. But, not all wives, but, it's just good to have someone there to like pick out your outfit and agree with it and just go with it. So how did you meet her? Briefly, just quick,
we met on Christmas Day.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
We met at a friend's house. On Christmas, I went there for the food. There was going to be a lot of food there, so I went, and that's where we met. And
did you eat after the? Did you eat once you? Or
yeah,
you just. Were you?
Yeah, I did eat, and we met. And one of the things that was intriguing about her, that first meeting, was she had the same name as my grandmother.
Oh, wow.
And very interesting, because I grew up very fond of my grandmother. And I never met any other woman other than her that had that name.
Do you want to tell us?
My grandmother's name is Moralayo.
Wow. What does it mean?
Moralayo. How do I explain that?
Okay, I'll give you. I think I know what it means. I know what it means. I'll put the meaning down in the.
It's kind of yeah. So
I would explain it. It's from the Yoruba tribe, so I would explain that in the comment section below. So okay.
So my grandmother, I'm sure there are other people with that name, but I never met anyone with that name until I met her. So that. It was intriguing to me at first. And so
that was what started the whole thing.
I like to think I was cute too, and she couldn't resist me.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully, I'll ask her when I meet her, and I'll let you guys know what she said. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Minister TuTu, for coming to my show. I really, really appreciate it, and I'm hoping that with this interview, someone out there is inspired, someone out there is galvanized to get up and do what they really, really want to do, and meaning pursue their dreams, goals, and aspirations in life. Until I see you again next time, please have a wonderful day and remain blessed.
Thank you so much.